And in the case of Brendan Moreno, right, who won in the UFC showcase in Edmonton over the past weekend, he's come back, and it was a unanimous victory for him. And he was asked in terms of what's next for him, and he also mentioned perhaps being in the title picture. Do you see that for him?
Yes, and also it's a tiring yes and no, because he put Albazi away, right, in a dominant display. He was 50-45, but just about on all scorecards. One guy said 49-46, but he was that dominant. And he's someone who's very good with his jiu-jitsu. He's got 11 submissions and only 5 stoppages by striking. And for him to go out there and strike, because I think he lost the match to Royval. I think it's Brandon Royval early on in the year in February, and he said he needed time away. So for him to come back 8 months later and look as good as he's done, I think that's very impressive. But here's the thing with Brandon Moreno, Jay. I think it's played out at this point in time, because Yeno Royval, who he lost to, in February, he's already fought twice. He's already fought Kai Kara France twice, who's below him. The guy who is above him, Pantoja, he's already fought twice again. He's been in
3 times against Pantoja and he's lost 3 times against him.
And then he's fought Davison Figueiredo 4 times, because he was the champion at that point. The first match was a draw, and then he captures the title, and then Figueiredo gets his win back, and then he gets it again from him. At that point, Figueiredo was saying, I'm trying to fight someone else, guys. Like, I'm tired of fighting the same guy over and over again. And I think that's where Brendan Moreno finds himself, that you're going to fight Kai Kara France again, or Royval, or Pantoja again, and you're like, he needs a different look, So he's not too far from the title race, because he's listed number 2, and the number 1 ranked opponent is someone he's fought already. So I think it doesn't look as exciting or as promising, but he's not that far from the title shot, because if he loses 1 or wins 1, he's in the same spots again. Because what do you do as Pantoja? You don't fight the guys who are number 6 or number 10. You go to the guys who are top 5. That's at least what the rankings are for. So yeah, he's in a bit of a pickle. But I mean, that's how it's sitting right now. That he fights and gets the title shot quite soon.
So Pantoja is the champion at the moment, and he's coming up in a fight against Kai, right? And it's so interesting, because on the one hand, when Moreno was answering his question and talking himself up maybe in the light of a title fight, he did mention that the UFC does what the UFC does, and we'll see what happens, because he reckons that maybe he's going to need to fight one more time in order to get back into the title picture once again. Because against Royval, who he lost to, he's open to fighting him, but he says he doesn't want to fight Kai, who he's beaten twice, and that's a bit of a head scratcher for me. So you open to fighting a guy to whom you've lost to. You've split the decisions twice against Royval, but most recently you lost to him. You're open to fighting him. You're not open to fighting Kai because you've beaten him twice already. You are the same guy who fought Figueiredo 4 times already. And in order to get a title shot, if it goes the way of the champion against Pantoja, like Pantoja would be the champion that you're trying to have a go at, you are trying to fight him for a 4th different time, even though you've lost to him 3 times already. So it may happen that he has to fight and beat Royval, or if it happens that Kai does beat Pantoja for the title, then the man that you say you don't want to fight for like a 3rd time, you're gonna have to fight him anyway. So his destiny is in the hands of the UFC. But I mean, with Moreno is one of the more popular figures in the UFC, and most famously for that sound bite, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but someday, And it's good to see him back in the octagon, and we'll see if he does get into the title picture. He's one of the better flyweights, like in the history of the UFC. I think he spent the most hours now, like more than who's that guy? Something Mouse.
Oh, Mighty Mouse.
More than Mighty Mouse. He spent the most hours fighting in this division. So he's got pedigree. We were curious in terms of what is he going to look like on his comeback. He did win convincingly, as you say, against Amir. So we'll see if it does factor into the title picture going forward.
I think they should just do a 4-way tournament where they just fight on the night, eliminator, and then get the belt on the night. Have 2 eliminators, 1 final. That's the only way to sort this out, because I sort of get where Moreno's coming from, because I don't want to fight that guy again and just. What if I lose? I'd rather fight someone that I've had trouble fighting for.
If he fights against Pantoja for the title and loses for the 4th time, I think that's it for him.
But that's fine if I'm fighting for the belt, Jay. Versus just someone there who's at number 5. It's justified in terms of my energy and my. A fight camp for 3 months to beat a guy that I've beaten again. Like if I beat him for the 3rd time, what point would I have made? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then if I lose to him, then I'm just losing ground versus me getting a realistic shot. So I sort of understand.